Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. First off, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here with us today. We are very pleased to be able to welcome those of you that have been with us for a long time now, as well as those that are new to the graph and AI space. My name is John Herkey. I lead the developer relations team here at TigerGraph. My whole focus is really about enabling and helping the community of developers and data scientists and engineers with building out graph solutions, open source tools, connectors, sample projects across many different domains and industries. For those that have been attending the summit, today marks the 7th day of your immersion into the world of graph and AI. And throughout the previous days, you've been learning about how others are leveraging graph and artificial intelligence in their businesses. But today, during today's track, we'll be focusing on hands-on workshops. So we invite you all to join us for each session and learn more about how you can get started building your own graph and artificial intelligence solutions. And the first sessions that we'll be covering is the introduction to TigerGraph and TigerGraph Cloud. If this is your first time learning about graphs and haven't built a graph solution before, this is your chance. Throughout the next sessions, you'll be learning everything about the deployment techniques to architecture to graph-based algorithms, data science integrations, visualization components, and even building a full stack application. I'd also like to note that there is a raffle for our free swag that will be happening in which you can acquire a ticket per session you attend. And the winner will randomly be selected and announced during the final session of the day, in which you can chat directly with the developer relations team and the TigerGraph engineers. Before we start today's sessions, I wanted to take a few minutes to walk you through the TigerGraph developer community. And so we're going to switch right on over to my laptop. All right, now we're here on my laptop. What we're going to be doing is looking at the community. The easiest way for you to remember is go to tigergraph.com. And when you go to tigergraph.com, on the very top right-hand side, you can see link for community. So if you click on community, you'll be brought to this community hub of sorts. And the community hub has everything you need to know about how to engage with the community. So you see that there is a getting started guide. This getting started guide goes very thoroughly through how to get started and spin up your own graph solution. If you go to TigerGraph 101, this guide will actually walk you through the same content that you're going to be learning in the TigerGraph 101. The use case might be different, but each step is clearly articulated and documented, and it will really help you get started on your journey of learning graph. You can also see that we have a community forum, we have a community chat. The community forum is for more of discussion topics where it's more of you have a question and you're looking for an answer. We also, the community chat is more for engaging and interacting with other developers in the community. So daily there's developers in the community chat chatting with one another. And we also have a lot of developers that are engaging on the community forums as well. We have a couple different programs, including the community contribution program and the TigerGraph universities. We're working with a lot of different universities. If you want to bring TigerGraph to your university, I highly encourage you to check out TigerGraph's university program. For now, I want to walk you through a few things in order for you to be able to best leverage the community. If you have questions throughout the sessions today, you'll be able to go to the community forums and the developer chat, and you'll be able to engage the community and ask them questions. And so let's first head over to the community forum. So now we're in the TigerGraph community forum, and you can see the community.tigergraph.com. If you want to go directly to the community forum, you don't have to go through TigerGraph and then to the community. You can go directly to community.tigergraph.com and you'll land at the same page. So the community forum has tons of developers that are asking questions daily, pretty much every hour. Some of the questions are really basic. Some are asking more in depth about how do you do stuff. And it can be a question for, I've never done an insert statement, to I'm trying to do some benchmarking. Do you have different tools, techniques, all the way to how do you do a certain insert statement with GSQL? So the questions vary. Every day there's TigerGraph developers in here. So you'll see TigerGraph developers from the community helping other TigerGraph developers out. We have developer relations team that's constantly monitoring the forums and helping other developers in their journey of learning. We have TigerGraph engineers and experts that come in and are able to help and answer questions that developers might have. One of my favorite features of the community forum is that you have weekly updates. So if you go into the weekly updates, you can see what is happening that week. You can see special announcements. There might be job openings from other communities that are related to TigerGraph or TigerGraph itself. We have how-to videos. So these might be videos that the community has developed or that internal folks at TigerGraph have developed. And so we can see workshops and videos and how-tos and knowledge around TigerGraph and the ecosystem of TigerGraph. We also have what are the latest news in TigerGraph. If you want to get your hands on certain projects, we feature projects that the community builds, that we build ourselves. And those are great for you to start your journey in learning by taking an existing project that somebody else has built and then go through step by step on how you can build that same project yourself. We also have many different events. And so you can see here we have in October, the different events that are going on. October 14th, there's one coming up. And it's just a great way to get connected and stay connected with the community, with what TigerGraph is doing and what our developers working on. The last thing that we have here is 3.2 was released. And so there's a lot of really cool features. Actually, if you go to a session later on today, you'll see the Kubernetes deployment. And then at the bottom here, you have the hearts and replies. So you can reply to these messages if you want to just simply click reply. It'll prompt you if you don't have a user account. I have a user account. I'm not going to log in right now, but you'll need to log in with your LinkedIn or your email and create a user. And then what you can do is reply to those topics as well. So let's go back to the main page. One thing that you might want to do is post your own topic. Again, you'll have to sign up. I already have a user account, so I'm going to simply log in with LinkedIn. So once you log in, you'll see a couple new options. You can see up here, there's a new topic button. If you have a question, no matter how big or how small it is, feel free to ask the question here in the form. You simply click new topic, and then you create a topic title. You also can give it a category. So if it's a getting started question, if the getting started question is related to REST APIs or TigerGraph Cloud, simply tag those as well. Now, when you get to the chat body, it's really good to be descriptive. Everybody in the community really wants to help everyone else out in the community. So the more details that you can provide to the community, the easier it is for the community members to respond back to you. So once you fill this out, you want to just hit create topic. In our case, I'm not going to click the create topic for right now, but you can simply navigate down here and see all the different things that are happening. So one thing you might want to do also is the notifications. So you can enable notifications. If you post something and you want to know exactly when somebody else replies, you want to enable those notifications so you get prompted with what that response was, and you can go back in and communicate directly with that engineer or developer that is responding to your questions. One thing I also do encourage is if you have an answer that is really helpful, what you can do is give a heart, and that lets others know that you appreciate really their response and taking the time to answer those questions that you might have. So that's the basics for the community.tigergraph.com. Feel free to jump into the community, ask questions throughout this workshop. Next, we're going to go to community chat. So if you go down to community chat and click learn more, you'll get an invite to Discord. So now we're in Discord. If you're not very familiar with Discord, it's a lot like Slack. You can see that we have people, we have these different things called channels. You can also have many different server rooms. So on the left-hand side, you can see there are a lot of different server rooms. In this case, we're in the TigerGraph server and the TigerGraph chat. We have a multitude of different channels that are being leveraged every day by TigerGraph developers, where one developer will be helping another developer. We have welcome and announcements and job boards and events. We have support and G-SQL. You'll also see there is a project room. You can choose to jump into a project room. You'll see your name pull up. One thing that you can do is you can share your video. So think of a Zoom breakout room, or you can use the screen. So this is a great way to jump into a room and instantly collaborate with another TigerGraph developer or ask questions. You can invite people to these rooms as well. You click this button right here where you can create an invite, and you can share this link out and somebody can just jump into your project room. We also have hackathons, app showcases. If you want to know about hackathons, we do those quite often. You just simply follow the announcements channel, or you can see the announcements that come up in the community updates. We can also see that there's developers interacting right now. We have somebody that's responding, asking questions. And so feel free to use the developer chat to instantly communicate and talk to other developers in real time. as an alternative versus the typical form. The next thing I want to cover is the community contribution program. We're so excited to bring this to the community this year. We've had hundreds of developers that have actively built out TigerGraph connectors and tools and sample projects, everything from videos to Udemy courses, and we wanted a way to give back. So you can go to TigerGraph community contribution, and when you click on this, you'll see how you can earn your stripes. So there's 5 stripe levels, all the way from stripe level 1 to becoming a leader in stripe level 5. If you scroll down, you can see how to participate to earn your stripes. You can see the active community developers here, and then you'll see each tier. So you can see what you have to do to contribute it, and then you can also see what you can unlock for rewards. So you can unlock everything from TigerGraph Cloud credits to e-gift cards, to swag being sent over, to exclusive invites to different events. So feel free to navigate the TigerGraph community contribution program and then become an active member as well. So I won't go through all of these, but there are a couple cool ones left. One of those is the TigerGraph open source. So this is a TigerGraph Developer Labs. This is a lot of open source projects and tools that you can go and look at. And so this includes some of the projects that are connectors, sample projects, and in this case on the top, we have Cynthia MedGraph, which includes a medical graph solution, a synthetic medical graph solution. On the far left side, you'll see AML-SIM. What that stands for is anti-money laundering solution. And it's a Python lab. So you can integrate this Python lab and run it as a Google Colab, or you can integrate it with SageMaker, or you can integrate it with Google Vertex AI. It's just a great way to get your hands on TigerGraph and learn how to build based off an existing project. What you can do is take it, modify it, tweak it, add it, and contribute to the open source projects as well. You can scroll down here and you can see a bunch of different sample projects. We have everything from detecting cryptocurrency fraud to getting started with Plotly and Dash and TigerGraph. So feel free to check out the developer labs. So lastly, what we're going to do is go to the TigerGraph University program. So if we go to the TigerGraph University program, we've already had a number of students and teachers that wanted TigerGraph to come to their university, whether it's to engage on a project or do a hackathon or start a community there. Feel free to click on Bring TigerGraph to your university. We're excited to work with students and teachers every day. So click on that button, and then what you can do is get prompted with an interaction with us. The last thing I want to cover is going back to the community, and then what we can do is go to different community projects. So this is a great asset. The shortcut to get here is the developer.tigergraph.com. This is a curated site with all of the things that are in the ecosystem. So you can see things from like GSQL Sublime, so syntax format highlighters, to exploration visualization tools, to Ruby-based clients. If we want to search for Python, we can go up to the top right-hand side here and click on the search and then search for Python. You can see many different Python use cases. In this case, we're going to just click on PyTigerGraph. You can see a description about PyTigerGraph, and then you can see the PyTigerGraph, how to set up. You can see the different features. You can see the resources. So this is a great portal if you're just looking for assets in the community, whether it's a sample project or a connector, or a utility, or a tool. Feel free to go up here to the search or to do a filters on the left-hand side. Again, you can get to the community through this site as well. One other thing is this nice curated learning paths. And so if you go on the left-hand side, you can see, okay, how do I build on the basics? How do I do graph schemas, data loading, graph inspection? Those are things that you can learn through going to this learning center. You can also navigate if it's your first time into Graph Studio, how to get started with Graph Studio. Maybe it's your first time getting into G-SQL. How do you do a select statement? How do you select or accumulators? How do you do best practices with G-SQL if you're getting into different algorithms? How do you integrate algorithms into your solution? So feel free to go to the Learning Center and click on any of these videos to get started to learn about the basics of TigerGraph. And with that, this is the conclusion to the community overview. Again, I will emphasize, if you have any questions throughout the day and you want them to persist, go to the community forum, community.tigergraph.com. Feel free to ask any questions that you would like. We'll get back to you, and we really hope you enjoy all of the sessions that we have here today. Thank you.